Radio, WGNS. Overnight, Good Neighbor Talk turns to UFOs, aliens, the unknown. It's Coast to Coast AM overnight every night on WGNS, Murfreesboro. The Good Neighbor Network, FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and online at WGNSradio.com. This is the Roundtable. A look at the news, views, politics, and people that are shaping Rutherford County.
Welcome into the Roundtable. I'm Andy Herzer, Executive Director and founder of First Shot, and have a good friend, longtime friend, one of the first people I ever met when I came to work at Middle Tennessee State. He's like my little brother. Been through thick and thin with each other, and again, just want to welcome you in, Michael.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate you.
So we're going to do a little background on you. You
Okay.
grew up in Murfreesboro.
I did.
Went to Oakland High School,
I did.
where you played golf
4 years.
4 years, and then went on to Middle, where I met you,
Yes, sir.
where you also were part of the Murfreesboro crew that took care of the center,
I
event
did.
planning and all that went on. Michael, talking a little bit next, then you kind of went and got your card so that you could be a teaching pro.
I did. Going through college, everybody's got their plus minus of here's what I'm going to do when I grow up. And I jumped even early. So my junior year of college, I had decided that I knew what I was going to do. I kind of felt like I'd known what I was going to do for a little while. Kind of come from a little bit of a golfing family. My dad played golf, was a good golfer. My uncle was a Class A professional club pro in California.
Class A. You when you use the term I don't understand, I'm going to pause you.
That's fine.
Explain Class A to the people.
So when you first start up, if you're going to go into the teaching side of golf, then you go out as an apprentice professional. And you have to go through, it's a whole nother series of school. A little bit's playing. Most of it is administration, sales, budgeting, running golf tournaments, things of that nature. And there's 3 different levels of that school. Once you've completed the 3rd level of that school, you get what is called your Class A professional license.
Which then you can be a head pro typically.
Correct.
And what's the difference between, I'm at a country club and assistant pro, head pro. What's the different duties?
So the head pro, it's just like every other business. Head pro is going to be your CEO of your golf organization. So your CEO is going to oversee all the operations, all the budgeting, all those things. And so your assistant pros are going to be more member-driven, direct maintenance, or not even member-driven, even at other golf courses. It's going to be driven more towards the public, in front of everybody, making sure they get their tee times, making sure that they're folding sweaters, that they're selling merch, they're selling golf balls. They're giving some lessons, because that's part of their class. That's part of their training to get their Class A is some lesson skills. They're hoping they're going to get to play some. That's the golf business is a tough business. That's why I wasn't in it long enough.
What makes it so tough? I have my opinion.
High hours, low pay.
But it's also you have 500 bosses.
At a private club, you do. You go to a public golf course, you got 30,000 bosses. How many rounds did you do that year? Because everybody's your boss. Everybody comes in, and if you don't get people that just come in, swipe credit card, go hit the tee box, go play, they're telling you what's wrong with the golf course. Why don't you have this in the pro shop? The cart girl never made it around enough times. Those are the things that they get to hear every day.
Well, that happens in every golf tournament. I've been running one, or I should say, I've allowed you to run mine because I'm not smart enough to run it.
You and Kendra set it up very, very well for me to be able to step in there and manage what you guys have.
But at the same time, the drink cart and stuff that you really just think, man, you're out here to golf.
Everybody's thing is important. Everybody's got their different thing. You know, for me, if we can get around the golf course in 4 hours or less, and the golf course is in good playing condition, the rest of it's just golf. It's just what it is.
Yeah, but again, you're a golf enthusiast.
I am.
Most that golf in scrambles like mine, they're probably maybe not playing 20 rounds of golf a year. Some are more.
Some are more.
But on the average, your average golfer plays how many rounds of golf a year, Mike?
I would say, 20 to 24. They're going to play once a month, twice a month, and some of them will only play during the warm months. So some of them may only be playing 12. They may play 6 months out of the year, and they may play twice a month for 6 months. You know, I didn't even look at my number. I think my number was somewhere between 90 and 100 last year, rounds.
So, again, everybody, it's a different level, just like in everything in life, different level of enthusiasm for golf. Yours is obviously very high. And that's why I ask you on one of the greatest tournaments that's ever been known to man, the Masters.
I even dug in the closet and broke a little something out for you.
I saw that. Got your little Masters emblem on today. But, Mike, let's first talk about the history and what makes this such a great tournament and why everybody turns in this week in April.
So we'll break that down a little bit. So the history goes back to pre-World War II. So Bobby Jones, who was undoubtedly, we can dispute the Tiger and Jack and who was the greatest of all-time golfer, this, that, whatever else. There is no dispute. Bobby Jones was the greatest amateur golfer that ever picked up a golf club. So Bobby Jones played many, many years in the early mid 1900s, and he was a golf purist. He grew to appreciate the fine golf courses all over the world. And there's a couple of really good Bobby Jones movies out there. But if you listen to the movies, Augusta is Bobby's homage to St. Andrews, because Bobby learned that St. Andrews required somebody to be a golfer, not just
Go out
out there swinging a club. Yeah, you had to be able to hit the shots, and you had to be able to understand that not every shot had to be hit as far as it could be hit. It was a ball placement. It was, I can hit it here, but if I hit it here, maybe I'm not to hit the next shot where I need to hit it. It's about where on the golf course do you want to be, which is part of what your next thing is. So the people at the Masters, it's an invitational golf tournament, just so everybody knows. It is not, hey, most everybody who won a tournament the previous year gets an automatic invitation to the Masters. If you've ever won a Masters, you're entitled to play there for the rest of your life. So your Tigers, your Dustin Johnsons, we talk about the live guys, whatever, the Bubba Watsons, the Sergio Garcias, guys that they're concerned that they may never get to play the majors again because they went over to play live golf. They're going to play at Augusta, because once you win, you're part of the Masters family, and you're there. Because of Bobby's status as the best amateur player that ever played the game, you have about, I can't remember if it's 4 to 6 amateurs that get invites to the Masters every year, and you don't see that at any other major, much less many other golf tournaments. There's the Asian, I think it's the Asian American, the Central American, the Mid-Am champion, the Mid-Am runner-up, and the amateur champion and the amateur runner-up, and I know that the British amateur champion, they all those amateur players that won that event get an invite to the tournament.
Now, do they all come and play?
Oh yeah, you're not missing that, because the average field is probably not more than 90 or 92 players. The average field at a regular week's tour event is 144 to 150 guys.
So clarify that 50 player difference. What happens, Michael? How do you play the first 2 rounds?
Mm-hmm.
It's the top 50.
At Augusta, I think they took it out. They used to have the 10-shot rule. So if you were within 10 shots of the leader, you made the cut, because they felt like if you were within 10 shots and you had 2 days to go, you could catch you. But no, I think they do have an actual cut now, and I think it's not more than like 56.
So at 56, if 56, 57, 58, 59, 60 are tied, they're all in. Yes.
So
it could be more.
It's 56 in ties, or top 50. Just round numbers. It could be the top 50. It's top 50 in ties. If you're all at 4 over par, this year it went to 6 over par.
Yeah. Augusta itself and the design is after St. Andrews. What is uniquely different about it from St. Andrews, Michael?
Elevation. So, if you ever watch the Masters on TV,
it doesn't do it justice.
It doesn't do it any justice at all. The fact that I know you want to. We talked about. You kind of want to talk about that. The fact that Tiger Woods, in the physical condition with his back, his leg, his ankle, whatever is currently ailing him, the fact that he can go around that golf course for 4 days is probably a miracle, because I've been there twice. I have not played in the tournament, so I've not been grinding away at it. I've been a spectator, and I got to pick and choose where I wanted to go, and I could sit down for a while and things like that. I was tired. I mean,
it's a grind.
You want to talk about getting your steps and your cardio. I mean, you and I've done some walking in our days, and it ain't nothing compared to going up and down the slopes that are at Augusta. And that's part of what makes Augusta what it is, at St. Andrews, it's how hard does the wind blow, and how are the greens and the berms and the bunkers and their high grass and the things like that. But you have to pick your shot. You have to be able to hit very precise shots. At Augusta, you got to make sure you know which way the ball is going to come off, which slope, going in which direction. I mean, the biggest one that everybody understands is the tee shot on 10. The tee shot on 10, you got to hit some kind of a low to medium rope hook around the corner that's not too far, because if you hit it too far, you don't get the bounce and it doesn't go all the way to the bottom of the hill, and you leave yourself a long iron into a very difficult green. But if you hit this sweet little rope hook around the corner and it hits that downslope just in the right spot, it shoots out another 100 yards down the fairway. But that's precision.
So 90 guys were there. How many of them have that in their repertoire?
You had like maybe 10 guys that finished under par. So let's just say that we had 10 guys that were on their game last week. And that doesn't mean that they're bad players, but you'll never find a Masters player that wins the tournament that is not one of your probably preeminent top 10 ball strikers on tour.
All right. I've heard that term. Tim Cup, right? Ball striker. He's a ball striker.
He's a ball striker.
Explain that to me.
So, somebody who's a pure ball striker has control of their game, has control of their yardages, has control of shaping the ball from left to right, right to left, hitting them high, hitting them low. They're just in control of their game, which Tiger's got 5 green jackets. There's a reason why Tiger's got 5 green jackets. You want to talk about one of the best all-time iron strikers? It's going to be Tiger. I mean, Jack's one of those guys. He's got 6 of them. I mean, it's guys that have control of their game. I mean, right now, Scotty Scheffler. Congratulations, Scotty Scheffler, for winning the 2024 Masters. He is on one of the biggest heaters right now that we've seen in a while. I mean,
You used the term heater.
yeah. So he, in today's world, I don't think everybody's looking for who's the next Tiger. You know, who's the next Tiger Woods? Who's the next guy? There's not going to be a next guy. There's going to be a temporary next guy because we've run through that. We ran through Jordan Spieth, got on a heater, won several majors, won a bunch of golf tournaments, did good things. Justin Thomas got on a heater, won some majors. Rory McIlroy got on a heater, won some majors. But now you look at it and people go, gosh, what happened to Jordan Spieth? Gosh, what's happened to Justin Thomas? Justin Thomas was even par on Friday with 5 holes to play and misses the cut. Shoots 7 over on the last 5 holes of the golf tournament. Blew it. And you look at those guys and go, you won majors. How'd you not make the cut?
So when you see that, Mike, what has happened? Is it everybody around them has just gotten that much better? There's more like a Scotty Scheffler playing today?
So I think everybody's got a right to have their life and do what they want to do. I think 2 things have changed golf. I'll go 2 different directions. One is the money the guys make makes it a whole lot easier to not have to go out after you make X number of dollars. Maybe you lose a little bit of your edge. Maybe you lose a little bit of your grind. I mean, we looked it up. I was sitting with my dad yesterday and we were talking about it, and we didn't even realize, but you go look at Jordan Spieth's total net worth. He's worth $250 million. If you're worth $250 million, unless you just have that internal drive, which is why I say there's not going to be another Tiger. Tiger wants it worse than anybody on the planet. Tiger wanted it this week. You listen to Tiger's pre-Masters interview. He said, if the conditions are right, I can still do it. I got one more in me. And he's going to say that because he wants to tie Jack. He does. He's got Jack's. He's still got Jack's records up on the wall somewhere. He's still trying to tick them all off. So, but he's always, Tiger's got that grind to say, I want one more. The biggest thing I can tell you is every single one of those guys I named is now married. They've had their first kid. Their life's changed. I mean,
Yep.
They're not in their mid-20s. They're not going out with the boys, jumping on the private jet, taking off somewhere to go play golf and gamble against each other, which is what keeps iron sharpens iron. We've talked about that. These guys are having to be at home, change diapers, family vacations, other commitments. The other thing is, once you get to be that big, you get the Rorys, you get the Justins, you get the Jordans, you get the other stuff. Media, advertising, sponsors, all those things. I mean, and I'm glad Scotty Scheffler got on a heater. I'm glad that he's had probably 3 or 4 of the best years of being a really good golfer that he's had in the last 3-4 years, because his wife's due in the next week or two. Like, they were on baby watch. Like, he actually said that if she went into labor and it was Sunday morning and he was winning, he's getting on a jet. He's out.
Kind of tells you the person he is.
It does. No, and again, I have all the there's nothing but all the respect for the world for those guys, because they now have determined that, you know, there are things more important than golf, but it is what you do for a living. And are you still doing it to a level where is acceptable to you that, okay, I'm not winning tournaments on the regular anymore. I might squeeze by and win this tournament this year, but I'm going to finish in the top 15 or 20 a bunch, and I'm going to make enough money to buy diapers and jet fuel. Because that's, you get to that level, that you're kind of talking about those types of things.
All right. Well, we'll take a quick break and be right back with the Roundtable with Michael Osborne.
This is Stan with Parks Auction. The annual Milton consignment sale coming up Saturday, April the 20th. The auction starts at 9.
Good and used farm, construction, and landscaping equipment, trucks, trailers, RVs, boats, campers, and more.
If you got good consignments, holler at me.
Don't miss this community event. This Saturday, the auction starts at 9, and there's even free food.
Be with us Saturday at Milton, 11132 Las Casas Pike.
Firm 3984.
Hey fellas, if you've been feeling tired and grumpy and have noticed a lack of motivation and drive, you may have low T. Low testosterone levels can cause weight gain, loss of muscle mass, and so much more. I recommend Low T Center, which is where I get my levels tested. They make it quick and easy to get your levels checked, and it's only $25. And with their on-site lab, you'll get your results back in about 25 minutes. Most insurance is accepted for treatment. Go to lowtcenter.com now to book your appointment online. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Landfills are complex, dynamic, and ever-evolving environments. Our operators start from the ground up. Middle Point is a modern facility constructed with a highly engineered liner system that meets every safety and regulatory standard in the book. We're the subject of multiple at-random inspections, have active air quality, groundwater, stormwater, and solid waste permits, and are compliant with all local, state, and federal regulations. Learn more at middlepointlandfill.com. For public services, we are sustainability in action.
If you want to get some barbecue, I'll tell you how to do it. Head for the Slick Pig and you're into it. Just walk through the door at 1920 East Main and your nose will send a message right to your brain. Say, smells good, and barbecue. Slick Pig. We got ribs and beans. Got spicy wings. Slick Pig.
A Murfreesboro tradition. 1920 East Main.
Well, we knew about Adams Place from the time it was first built.
Margaret Ordubadian.
I remember Dr. Carl Adams and Jenny Mae, and so we were really familiar with this place. We had one friend who moved in immediately when it was built, and we didn't consider any other place. We just knew this was it.
I'm Terry Deal. Call me about Adams Place. Phone 615-904-9111. Memorial Boulevard, across from Walmart.
This is Good Neighbor Events with Bart Walker. Brought to you by the law offices of John Day and AmeriCare Pest Control.
This is a paid legal ad.
When a family member is lost as a result of someone else's negligence, the grief can be unbearable. It also leaves you with a lot of questions like, how did this happen? Who's responsible? And is my family going to be okay? That's a lot to go through, but with the law offices of John Day on your side, you don't have to go through any of it alone. We understand what you're going through, and we have the experience to get the answers, justice, and compensation your family deserves. Call the law offices of John Day.
For 77 years, you've depended on WGNS to let you know what's happening locally. And now, Good Neighbor Events. The 4th annual Our Beer Eat 'em, this Sunday from 2 until 5 at Oakland's Mansion. The admission for the grounds tour is $30 per person, and a portion of the proceeds will benefit the maintenance and preservation of the grounds and the Arboretum. Reservations are required and space is limited. so purchase your tickets online in advance. Again, the 4th annual Our Beer Eat 'em, the Wetlands and Gardens Tour, a unique one too, is this Saturday from 2 until 5 at Oakland's Mansion. And it's also the weekend for the Borough Barbecue Fest, this Saturday over at the Tennessee Miller Coliseum on West Thompson Lane. Another big Saturday event for this weekend, the Center for the Arts Backstage Bash. That's under the big tent in front of the Center for the Arts at 110 West College. Gets underway at 6 o'clock this Saturday night. Earth Day is 10 until 2 all around the courthouse on the square this Saturday. Those are WGNS Good Neighbor events.
Rutherford weather.
Sunshine today with our high nearing 83. Southwest winds gusting as high as 30. Clear skies overnight with a low of 59. Sunny with a high nearing 83 Monday and 62 Monday night. I'm meteorologist Kara Foster on News Radio WGNS. Currently, it's 81 degrees.
Middle Tennessee Electric organizing the 23rd Annual Earth Day celebration Saturday, April 20th, 10 to 2 on the square. Check out MTE's Energy Hub trailer equipped with interactive energy efficiency displays. Free fun for the whole family. Find out more at rcearthday.com.
This is the Roundtable from News Radio WGNS on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and worldwide at WGNSradio.com.
Welcome back into the Roundtable. I'm Andy Herger, founder and executive president of First Shot Foundation. Just a quick plug here. We are signing up for summer camps. You can go to firstshottn.org, click on basketball, and then go to summer camps. It's ages 5 to 14. There's 2 different weeks. And again, it'll be a great time had by all. Again, that's firstshottn.org. And want to welcome back in my good friend Michael Osborne, talking golf, talking the Masters. You know, we were talking off air a little bit, Michael, about certain courses are just set up for certain styles of golfers.
Courses for horses.
Courses for horses.
Courses for horses.
So let obviously whoever is winning the Masters consistently is set up to win the Masters style course. Does that translate in them going over and winning the British Open?
No.
All right.
Very rarely. Very rarely. So again, when we talk about courses for horses, and even your average golfer who's listening to us today, who's just hanging out, that just likes to go play, they'll tell you, well, I really like this golf course, or I don't like this golf course, or whatever. Most of the reason why is because it's what their playability of that golf course is. Like in this area, I used to always say Pine Creek over in Mount Juliet. I always wanted to open my year at Pine Creek. Like, if I took 3-4 months off, first golf course I wanted to go see every spring was Pine Creek. I had its number. I could go out there and not have played for 3-4 months, shoot even to 3-4 over par, and not think twice about it, because it's set up for me. Golf course fit my eye, as we like to say.
So when you're looking at it, the field of the 90 that were in there, obviously those that scored in the under par, their golf is designed for that type of setting.
One of two things: either the golf course fit their eye. 1, 2, they've played it enough times that they learned, because most golfers got to be pretty smart, kind of start to figure out the nuances of golf courses. But again, the third one is, if you go look, we'll do the betting part. So if you were going to go bet the Masters, I would go out and I would probably look on the stats sheet on PGAtour.com. I would find out who is in the top 5 in strokes gained putting, who's in the top 5 in strokes gained approach, because that means they can putt. Means they're hitting good iron shots. You can get away with getting a little squirrely here and there with a tee shot at Augusta. You can't get real
They all
squirrely.
seem to have.
They did.
I mean, everybody hit one in the trees.
You're gonna do it. If you're at Augusta, you're gonna do it. It's just gonna happen. But if you look at the best iron strikers and the best putters, because they talked about, again, I like Tiger. Tiger and I are about a year apart in difference. I think it's a year and 2 or 3 weeks. So I grew up under the Tiger umbrella. But the biggest stat that you can look at Augusta is 3-putt avoidance. If you look and see who won the golf tournament or who finished in the top 5 or who finished in the top 10, the first stat you're going to look at, if you want to go dig them up, and you have to dig deep to go get them, but go look and see how many 3-putts those guys had during the week. And I promise you, the winner probably had less than a handful of 3-putts. Because he had ball control, which means he had iron control because he put the ball in the right spot to avoid 3-putting. And he's a good enough putter that he is a good lag putter. Knows how to get it up near the hole. Doesn't have to always make them, but he's not going to leave himself a lot of work to tap that thing in to get out of there.
So you look at this going down the stretch. The runner-up.
Ludwig Oberg. I want to say Aberg because he's Swedish and it's got an A with a little O thing, but it's Oberg. Ludwig
You look
Oberg.
at him, he birdies. Scheffler right behind him birdies.
Mm-hmm.
It was like if Oberg was going to do it.
Tit for tat.
It was really kind of crazy. My wife's sitting there, who's not a golfer, Mike.
Oh, I know.
And she's watching this, and I was gone one day. I went to a men's event on Saturday. I come back in. I said, "What did you do today?" Well, I watched the Masters. Now, here's not a, she's a basketball person, but she's not a golfer. But here's she's gotten swept in.
She didn't like Purdue, does she?
Just a little.
Okay.
But she likes college basketball.
I know.
But you start to look at it. What makes people, the average person who doesn't golf, suck into watching an event like the Masters? What do you think it is, Michael?
I mean, for me, my mom, just like Gina, not a golfer. My mom was unfortunate enough to grow up to have 2 golfers in the household for a long, long time between my father and I. So, she had to adapt because if he wasn't watching golf, I was watching golf, and if I wasn't playing golf, he was playing golf, and this and that. So she adapted to that. But so she and I went to the Masters in 2004. I was there when Phil Mickelson, with his famous 4-inch vertical leap when he won, about that far off the ground. That's about as white men can't jump. And Phil proved that to everybody. 4-inch vertical on the 18th when he won his first Masters in 2004. I was there on Sunday. And my mom will tell you she couldn't tell you who half the players are. My wife went to a practice round with me. And you know the background of my wife. My wife could get out here, leave the front of this building, and run to Nashville on a jog. But famously, we were there, and Jason Day was probably the number 1 player in the world at the time when we were there. It was practice round probably about, I guess it's been almost 5 or 6 years ago now, but we were at a practice round, and we walk in, and he hits this shot, and it's a strike. Because it's Jason Day in Jason's day, during Jason's heater. Again, I go back, they all have heaters. And I'm going to go back to Ludwig here in a second. But my wife goes, "White shirt guy, good shot, white shirt guy." And I said, "Honey, that white shirt guy's the number 1 player in the world." She goes, "He's wearing a white shirt." But I say that to say that the reason, going back to your question, because we just went sideways, but I'm going to go back to it, is there's not too many more well-kept, beautiful golf courses on the planet. and they do some real weird things to make sure that that is what it is. But I mean, you go through there and you can't find a scrap of paper. I'm going to take out this week because, like you and I talked about, we had some wind. We had some different things that we don't normally have. And I saw more debris and leaves on the golf course this year than I've ever seen. Again, when you got 20, 30, 40 mile an hour gusts, even the guys at the Masters can't stop Mother Nature. Mother Nature's going to win 100 times out of 100. There was not a round of golf this weekend. I'm doing my research this morning, Coach. There was not a round of golf at the Masters this weekend from the field's perspective that was under par. Every round was over par from a total field perspective. Friday was brutal.
Is that abnormal? I always thought when they go to the PGA Championship, they're just sadistic how they set a course up, Michael.
Yeah, well, all the majors try to set it up a little worse. The one that's known for the we're going to get you and we don't care is the U.S. Open.
That's it, the U.S. Open.
They don't care. They're growing in 4-inch, 6-inch rough. Like, you miss a fairway and you better hope somebody saw your ball, because if not, you're going to step on it to find it, and you're going to have to take a pitching wedge and pitch it back out in the fairway because you're not going to get it to the green. And up to a certain point, I love the USGA. The USGA is the governing body for golf in the United States, but they get a little to the extreme side. They're determined that they don't want anybody to shoot more than about 4 or 5 under par to win their national championship. And I'm like, man, we just want to see you guys play golf. I want to know that guy who I watch 40 weeks out of the year, who's that good. I want to see him go get it. And the Masters has made some changes. I mean, we're talking about this is the first year that new tee box on 13 was open. They went out. The minute the Masters have a lot of money. They probably average, after expenses, and I'm just talking about for the tournament, they averaged a net of around $50 million into the coffers, which pretty good deal for them. I mean, they give away their television rights. I know most people don't know that. They give away to CBS. They give away $260 million of value in television rights. But CBS has agreed the Masters has control of the situation. Whatever the Masters wants, CBS is going to cater to that because they're not paying for it. So the Masters wants to fire an announcer, you're out. If the Masters wants to go commercial free like they did several years ago when they had that protest, that's what we're going to do. They're going to tell them where they want to put the TV cameras. They're going to tell them if they can fly drones. They're going to tell them the men at the Masters, because that's what they're called, the men at the Masters. They are in control, and but they make so much money on. They make money on ticket sales, they make money on concessions, and they make money on merchandise. And by the time you add all that up, subtract out the logistics, the employees, the security, the blah, 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 the purse, everything else, the net's still almost $50 million for that event.
It's crazy.
For 4 days. Well, for 7 days.
So what do they take that $50 million, put it back into the golf course, Michael?
Oh, yeah. Usually that and or more.
So what did they change on 13?
So, 13, they went. So, Augusta National is this golf course that's right here. Right next to it, on the other side of the fence, is Augusta Country Club. And so, Augusta National's biggest problem is Augusta National is landlocked now. They're buying people's houses. They bought an entire strip center across the street of Washington Avenue where Magnolia Lane is. They've built out their new media center, and everything else is across the street from the main gates. Things like that. I was reading an article last night on one of the news things. There's a 92-year-old lady that lives right off the property at Augusta, and she's like the last person that has held out that won't sell them her house. And they've offered her millions of dollars for this piece of property that's worth she's got a 1,900 square foot 3-bedroom ranch in Augusta, Georgia, and she's been offered somewhere in the ballpark of $2 to $3 million to come out of that house. And she's 92 years old, and she said no. And I'm on the radio, or else I would tell you what she really said, but she said no emphatically.
Well,
and again, some of that for her is not the money. She's 92 years old. She's living her lifestyle, and she's like, you guys can have this when I'm gone, but you ain't getting it while I'm here. But
well,
so they bought, so I said Augusta's here, Augusta Country Club is here. They called Augusta Country Club and said, hey, we need to make you a deal. Augusta Country Club's like, what does Augusta want from us? And so they went in and they bought a half an acre from the Augusta Country Club, which was right in the middle of their golf course, or right along the edge of the middle of one of their holes. And so they've gone through and they spent a whole bunch of money. They paid for a redesign of their golf course, built a new green, helped Augusta Country Club redesign the golf course so they could have this half acre to back up 13 tee box by 30, 40 yards.
And by backing it up, explain to a guy like me, 30, 40 yards, what does that mean?
So the 13th hole at Augusta used to be, and it wasn't this year, we found that out. It worked. They got the result they were looking for. The 13th hole used to be one of the most dramatic holes at Augusta National because it was if you hit a prime tee shot, you were going for that green in 2. And we saw some eagles get made, and it's all the big roars that go through the crowd that, everybody's talking about the roar at Augusta in the crowd. You can get those this year because I don't think that there were more than I don't think they exceeded a half a dozen eagles the entire weekend. Usually on a good day, you'll get half a dozen eagles per day.
Well, Michael, we're going to come back up and finish it. We're going to take our break. Be right back with the Roundtable.
Rutherford weather.
It has become mostly sunny this afternoon with a high in the mid-80s. Southwest winds of 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, increasing clouds, a low near 62. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki on News Radio WGNS.
Currently, it's 73.
Hi, this is Chip Walters with Exit Realty Bob Lamb & Associates. You might know me as the voice of the Blue Raiders, but I want to be your trusted advisor in real estate. Whether you're buying or selling, it's time to choose Chip. Do you have a growing family and need to upsize? Are you an empty nester now and need to downsize? Are you thinking of selling your current home but just worried you can't find something else? Well, it's time to choose Chip. I'm looking to be your trusted advisor in real estate. I'm Chip Walters with Exit Realty Bob Lamb & Associates.
Fun is in full bloom, Tennessee, and the Multiplier Instant Games are buzzing in. These colorful tickets offer chances to multiply your wins 10, 20, 50, and even 100 times. It's a beautiful day for bigger and bigger prizes, and they're ripe for the picking right now. Find the Multiplier Instant Games today at your nearest Tennessee Lottery retailer. Only from the Tennessee Lottery. Game-changing fun. Please play responsibly.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Rayburn Insurance in Smyrna.
Come see me, Rick Hall, at Rayburn Insurance in downtown Smyrna today.
Online at rayburn.net.
This is the Roundtable from News Radio WGNS on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and worldwide at WGNSradio.com.
Welcome back into the Roundtable. I'm Andy Herzer, First Shot founder and executive director. One last shameless plug. Again, we have summer camps coming up. You can go to firstshottn.org and click on basketball, go to summer camps. And again, it's ages 5 to 14, boys and girls. Love to have your child out there. We are rapidly filling up. So if you're wanting your child in a camp this summer that's Christ-centered, you go now and sign up.
We are also rapidly filling up your golf tournament.
Well,
Because I mean, if we're going to shameless plug and I'm running your golf tournament, I would be very poorly directing your golf tournament if I wasn't trying to sell these last 2 teams.
That's right. We have 2 teams left. We have one morning, 8 a.m. flight, one afternoon, 2 p.m. flight. Lunch is included. You can call me at 615-631-5312. Find out the particulars.
It's at Stones River Country Club.
Stones River Country Club. Never played there. It's a beautiful course. Again, give me a shout. And again, I'll go back and now say thank you, Michael. You've taken over this since Kendra Cook has moved from here to Charlotte, now Charlotte to Florida, and living her best life in retirement or semi-retirement.
We love Kendra. We love Kendra.
Yeah, she really started something special, but you've taken it over. And again, Michael, for me, not being a golfer, you have really made things simple. And I want to say thank you on air.
Sure.
You guys, Michael Osborne's a local realtor here. Michael, you can give him your information. You guys, if you're selling real estate or buying real estate, you should give my good friend Michael Osborne a call.
No, I appreciate that. I'll do that. So my phone number, I'm with Benchmark Realty, but you'll see my brand a little bit here and there. We've done a little branding work. So it is Michael Osborne Real Estate at Benchmark Realty. My phone number is 615-397-5054. And you can get me at michael@michaelosborne.com and www.michaelosborne.com. But I have been blessed, and I am very appreciative of those that have trusted me to do real estate for them. I don't take that for granted. You know that. The biggest thing is I am appreciative of the fact that it has given me the time and the opportunity to help you continue to grow First Shot to be what it is.
Well, again, Michael, you've been a longtime friend, and
how long have you been here? Because
1996, May of 1996, we came over as a staff. You were there.
Well, I think that because I was kind of leading into that. That's kind of the story of you and I is. You come in, y'all came in hot because y'all were late to the presser, if I remember correctly. We're in the Blue Diamond Room in the bottom of the Murphy Center. I'm doing sound audio for that presser, and y'all came in hot.
Well, if you know my head coach,
I know your head coach.
I love Coach Will to death.
Good dude. He's a great dude.
There's not many nicer men in the world.
There's not.
But he's late, and I got to a point that if we needed to be somewhere at 8, I said, "Hey, we got to be there at 7:30."
Of course you did.
And and hopefully that he would still get there at 8 because I think he's probably one of the smartest guys on the planet, and he figured out what I was doing quickly because I just hated to be late. You knew that.
I do. You still do.
Still do. But
I think they sent police escort to the city limits to pick you guys up and the whole 9 yards.
Well, you know that. I can't remember what that is. It's now cat a corner from the Publix out there across from the VA. There's a grocery store / gas station.
Yeah.
We changed in that.
Oh, okay.
And we were in his car.
Right.
7 foot,
Yeah.
6'2", 6'2".
Yeah.
And we were crammed in there, Michael, because it was a little car, and it was brutal.
But yeah, so they come blowing in, and of course they've got Coach by the arm. They're dragging him up to the front so they can do the introduction. You know, it's the whole dog and pony show. And you and who was with you? Was it you and Jim?
Rich Yoniker and Jim.
Yeah, you and Jim. I don't know if I saw Yoniker, but you and Jim.
Well, it's hard to miss Yoniker.
Well, he's tall, but I don't. You know, I was trying to do my job. So, but whatever it was, where I was at the table where I was doing my thing, you slid in right next to where I was standing, and Jim was standing next to you, and then I guess Yoniker was there on the other side of the door or something. And so you looked over at me and said, "Hey, my name's Andy." I said, "Hey, my name's Michael." We shook hands, said hi, and it's been that. So I think, unless you made an early trip, I am the first Murfreesboroan that you ever met.
Born and raised, first one.
First one.
And literally, you know, I hadn't met Lee Fowler yet.
Sure.
Because we were running in, like you
Right,
said, hot.
yeah,
So,
you came in hot.
you know, end of the day, it was, you know, a great 6 years here. Met so many good people, Mike. We lived in a really great community.
We do.
And, you know, I feel blessed beyond belief with the friendships that have been long-term and even new ones that we're developing now. For you, Michael, and golf, what made you love it so much?
Oh, I get that question. So I was one of those kids that grew up, I was an asthma kid when I grew up. So I kind of limited on what I could do. Wasn't going to play soccer, couldn't run. I played a little, I played a little bit of everything youth league, but it was always a struggle. Played basketball, running to the sidelines, catching an inhaler, trying to go back out. Playing soccer, I always played second or third string, so I didn't have to play the same number of minutes. I was playing reduced minutes. But again, as I said at the beginning when we started talking, I had a dad who was the average golfer in America breaks 100. Okay, let's get down to the nuts and bolts of what a golfer is. The average guy,
the one that counts all their strokes.
The guys
Michael.
that count all their strokes. The average guy in America will shoot right around 100. That's an 18 handicap. Let's put some numbers to the table here. So, my dad, as I was growing up, played golf, and he was a member at the country club here in town. So I was fortunate enough to have that opportunity as well, because if he's a member, I'm a member because I'm his kid. But my dad, at his peak, was probably about a 2.
Wow.
He's a good golfer. He's probably one of the best putters I've ever met. Still one of the best putters. If I have trouble, I don't call anybody. I call my dad. Hey, Dad, come look at my putting stroke. My uncle, in California, was a head golf professional. Was a good player in his own right. Played with him many times. Breaks par, this and that. He's happily retired now, and he's in his 60s and probably doesn't break par much anymore. But he still enjoys the game, and he's retired. He left California, and now he's in Columbia, Tennessee. So he's here. For perspective, and you know I'm not the guy, I don't talk about my golf game. I never talk about my golf game because I enjoy playing golf with everybody. It's not about how good I am or how whatever. But
which is highly, hold it, let me stop. Which I think is highly unusual, because I've always said what I've noticed about golfers is they want to golf with guys near to their handicap, most of them. All right?
Yeah, usually, because it's more comfortable for them.
So that they're also not waiting for me to go look for my ball in the woods or in the swamp, right? So
Okay.
it's I get it. It's just like me, Michael. When I play basketball, when I did, I wanted to play with someone who knew how to play. I didn't like playing with people who didn't know how to play.
But I guess my appreciation for that swap changed. I got a little different perspective on that because I was an assistant golf professional at a private club. So if I wanted to play golf, I was playing with whoever I could get out on the golf course with, and I didn't care. Because you know what I wanted to do?
Play golf.
I wanted to play golf. And I was hoping that I was playing with a member that I was going to enjoy spending some time with. So golf, for me, I'll say it, because if I don't, you're going to make me say it. I looked at my handicap this morning. I played golf this weekend. Shout out to the guys at Champions Run, because that's where I've been playing my golf lately. I shot 72, 73 this weekend. My current USGA index, for anybody who wants to ask me what that is 1.7.
So a little bit better than his dad's 2 handicap at his peak. But Michael, first, we're going to wrap it up because Brian has come back in. I want to say thank you.
Yes, sir.
I want to say thank you for, first and foremost, your friendship. I thank you for using your talents to help other people in our community. It's just not First Shot. Michael has a love for other nonprofits as well. He's also probably one of the most knowledgeable guys. If he doesn't know the answer, what I can tell you about Michael, he'll go get it.
I'm not going to tell you if I don't know.
And so I appreciate everything you do for our community, and we'll have you back on.
I appreciate the opportunity. This has been fun.
Thank you